Welcome back. You're watching the last edition of Business Morning for the week on Channels Television. And today on the program, we're looking at managing risk in your business. Of course, that sounds kind of an anomaly, especially since you know that once you go into business, there's definitely so many risks involved. But then do you know that you can manage it, not totally eradicate it, but manage it to the best of your ability to ensure that you don't go out of business and, of course, you do not disappoint your customers. I'm being joined now on the program by the Director General of Association of Enterprise Risk Management Professionals, Olayinka Odutola. That's going to be our conversation. That's going to be the focus of our conversation in the next couple of minutes. Thank you so much, Mr. Odutola, for coming on this morning.
Thank you very much, Harriet, and thanks, Channels, for inviting me.
Okay, now looking at what risk is all about. Yeah. Let's even begin to understand what is risk management and why is it important that a business thinks about it?
Thank you very much, Harriet. Once again, anybody that wants to start any project, in fact, anything in life that you want to do, you must always look at the risk implication. Channels is here now. We all know about Channels, the best television station and all those things. Channels will never have been able to reach this height if it does not start. If at the time it was starting, it did not start with identification of risk. You understand, something that can frustrate them. You understand, in achieving their objective of setting up an enviable and a viable television station. Look at it. Before you can do this, you will need something like a regulatory approval. We call something regulatory risk management. Regulatory risk. Look at it, we call something compliance risk, right? Compliance risk is related to regulatory. As long as you are here and you want to continue to be the best, you want to continue to, operate without any problem, you must key into what the regulators want.
Okay, then so that is identifying risks that you know.
Oh, yes.
But then there are also some kind of risks that come up that you don't even envision them coming up at all.
Oh, definitely. Of course, there is no way you can be able to identify all. There are some that will just come, residual risk, we're describing as residual risk. They just come up like that, and some of them may be insignificant. However, as a business owner, you must be able to look at the significant things that can threaten your investment in that business.
So let's state those ones that are regular risk that everybody should take into cognizance. Let's take those ones.
For instance, the first one I will look at is strategic risk. An average person, especially in the small and medium enterprise category, look at them. Why did you venture into this particular business? Why not this one? Some of them will not be able to answer specifically why they prefer this business. Because of, I can call this a strategic error. You understand? Your intention to go into a particular business must have been informed by something, right? Do you have a passion for it? Do you understand? Like someone was saying that a Ganify Emi now, right? Ganify Emi would not or might not have been successful, you understand, if he, at the beginning of his life, if he read mechanical engineering or is a medical doctor. Do you understand? But many entrepreneurs will make that mistake. Some of us, we join because other people are there and they are making money. You understand? So, some of us go into strategic errors from the beginning. Then, failure to plan. We have always overemphasized this, but it is very, very real. A lot of people go into business without even thinking about, laying the foundation. When am I going to improve on it and all those things? So, it's always kind of a trial and error thing. A lot of people go into it because, some people are making it, and because some people are making it, I have friends and all of them are in this particular business. They are into oil and gas. So let me also join them, but you may not make any success out of it. It's one of those errors that people actually do. Then the business, the area you are looking at, you understand? I'm talking of, the industry you are looking at. That industry must have some kind of peculiarities that if you don't understand it, it could be a very serious problem for you. But if you understand it, let me tell you something. There's nothing bad in risk. Risk is normal, whether you want to, whether you like it or not. But what you need to do is just try as much as possible. Imagine when MTN were coming, MTN, Airtel, and all. When you are coming to this country, a lot of people had the opportunity. In fact, a lot of people, we were inside Nigeria, and they could not actually tap into the possibilities at that time because of the fact that they were looking at the risky part of it. MTN Ayatel and some other guys, they came in knowing well that, of course, when you are doing risk profiling of Nigeria, of course, you will see a lot. But at the same time, that is not all about Nigeria. There are some juicy sides of Nigeria. Population is one of them. We have population, if we have to look at it realistically, we cannot be less than about 170, 180 million as of today. Imagine if 180 million are saying hello, no matter the cost, you understand? At least people are living there. You understand? Say, of course, it's not all about Boko Haram. People are still living in Nigeria, and to God be the glory. It's not that I told you Nigerians are dying every day. Harriet, you are here, and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so we should know one thing, that risk is normal. But any intending business person, intending entrepreneur, you must be able to understand the risk in the terrain that you are going.
Okay,
and
Mr.
you make
Odutola,
a success of it.
well, Mr. Odutola, you didn't talk so much about policy risks, for instance, because you see
Yes.
a lot of businesses actually
Yes.
start and they do not take into consideration that, for instance, in that particular industry that
Yes.
they're in, a policy might come out that might not favor them, and so at the end of the day, they close shop.
I talked about regulatory risk.
Okay.
Do you understand which is what I was talking about? But apart from that, I still have about some. You understand that we are still going to discuss here. I don't know how many minutes we are going to go. But what are we talking about? I told you about regulatory risk. One of the things that have failed many businesses in Nigeria is the regulatory aspect, because many people are actually not prepared for it. Do you understand? They go into it, not imagine if you want to start pure water business. One of the things that must interest you, right, is the area of NAFDAC approval. No matter how competent you are, no matter how rich, how wealthy you are, no matter the level of, amount of investment you want to put in, right, the fear of NAFDAC in that business is the beginning of wisdom. If we don't have NAFDAC, if you don't look at that, you will not be able to make any success of it. You understand? Then look at that policy thing you are talking about. A lot of businesses also are packed up because of, policies, especially in Nigeria, where, of course, you can have some somersault at times. Do you understand policy somersaults? Some people have taken credit facility from banks, you understand, to engage in some, importation of some products. But by the time the product lands in the country, in fact, when it's about to land, you find out that that product, you understand, is already banned.
Okay, so now whose responsibility is it to begin to ensure that they thoroughly understand what the risk is in terms of how policies could change overnight in their business? Because you notice that there are actually some companies that have, that department that focuses on analyzing such risk and giving informed decisions.
Definitely.
And so sometimes they feel that, okay, so since there's a department that actually focuses on it, they shouldn't really spend so much of their time on it anyway.
Okay, that's why one of the things we call this thing enterprise risk management. We have taken risk management from a level where it's just one department that should be, looking at it. Of course, there must be a department that will be a champion in identifying, prioritizing, measuring, mitigating, and managing this risk. You understand? But apart from that, everybody in an organization, for instance, if you are looking at banks now, right? I'm looking at a situation where every bank, everybody that works in the bank, we know that your number one responsibility is in the area of managing risk, identifying the risks that are involved. Look at the customer service officer now in the bank. You understand? A customer service officer should not just restrict him or herself to, I want to see the account opening, procedure and things like that. You must be able to use that account opening procedure to identify, you understand, the risk, what may go wrong. Supposing this customer that's opening an account, supposing it's a fraud. Do you understand that kind of thing? Right? So, in those days, when we talk about risk management, people will point to a particular department. But as of now, we should know that every person in an organization must be able to some extent, be able to identify.
So everybody should become a risk.
Everybody should be risk conscious. It is compulsory for us in this nation as of today. You understand? Because persistent neglect, look at what is happening in the north now as of today. Right? Everybody, people have a tendency of blaming the current government. But it did not just start today. Are we all, now thinking about it? Look at it. When did you, as a person, realize that Borno did not have any border? Our borders are porous. Our borders have always been porous. Do you understand what I'm saying? But people are not looking at governance from the risk perspective. You understand what I'm saying? So risk management has gone beyond all these things. In governance, in politics, you understand? In business, small, medium enterprises, in the corporate organization, I think risk management is something that people should embrace now. At least if you're not able to do much, you'll be able to identify it and escalate it to those who are going to manage it. You will have done some justice to your organization.
From everything you've said, from this conversation we've had
Yeah.
in the last couple of minutes, it's very obvious that
Yeah.
effective risk management, will help your business to grow. But
Definitely.
let's still talk about it.
Yeah.
How does effective management of risk, for instance, in our own environment, in
Yeah.
Nigerian business environment, have any significant relationship with business success?
Okay. Let's even talk about small risk factors. Maybe that will actually help. Look at the area of operational risk distance. Operational risk, when you're talking of operational risk anywhere, right? It's talking about people risk. You understand? People risk is one of the factors that actually, right, if you hire a wrong employee, you have already killed that business. You understand? All right, if you want to start any business today while you are in channels, you understand what I'm saying? Try, of course, you cannot run it. You have to put some people there. And I can tell you the choice of wrong person, whether incompetent person or fraudulent person, of course, that would be the end of that business. You understand what I'm saying?
So that's
Because
operational risk.
Operational risk, right. You have people, we have process risk, right? If you are doing even a small manufacturing, right, process is involved. Is it not? In channels now, definitely everything that you are doing, you can channel it through a kind of process. You understand? When there's a process failure, of course, it can lead to the business failure, whether in logistics or manufacturing or production. You understand what I'm saying? It's one of the things we are talking about. Some people are victims of legal risk, right? I mean, an average person wants to start a business, even definition of which kind of business I'm going in. Is it sole proprietorship? You understand? Is it partnership? You understand? If I am partnering with people who are going to be my partners, if you are not able to define that from the beginning, some people fail at that level, right? Because of the fact that, maybe you just bring a friend. You don't even, of course, you have always been friendly from the university days and all those things, right? And you believe there's a kind of trust that is established within the two of you. But along the line, because you have a government appointment and you told your friend, go and run this business for you, of course, you need prayer. You understand? Say, because an average person, would kind of do some kind of funny things and fraudulent things. Why? Look at this common transportation business, right? In those days, I know a lot of bankers that will say, I want to have about 3, 4, 5 vehicles on the road. But at the end of the day, you will not succeed in any, because the people that you are putting there to manage this business for you, you understand, they believe, of course, you are earning millions now. You are not being fair to us. This is also our cake. You understand? So it's one of the things. Then apart from that, look at the market, risk, right? Look at the issue of competition itself. Like Acera, when they wanted to start, their business about almost 10, 11 years ago, right? They thought about it. If we produce something that, look at Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola have only been there for about 100 years now. If we, like I said, we wanted to start, right, we must be able to do something that at least will make our product to be felt, to be known in the market, our presence to be felt, So what did they do? They just simply packaged their product and made it available to an every man on the street. Do you understand? A very good strategy. When they were celebrating their 10 years success, they mentioned it. If you find out, if you can remember, like I said, you find it everywhere. During the hold up, if there's a gold slow or all these things like this, you find out that they're selling. And even the established companies, they are already emulating that kind of strategies. So a lot, Then government also, at times, policy inconsistency, you understand, right? Like we said, can also make a difference between the business failure and the success. You understand? But that is not only the thing. What of the environment? What of the location? Right? Some businesses are bound to fail because of improper location. You understand? When you locate it bad, there's nothing you can do about it. Some people have to, at a very great expense, they have to move the business again and shift it to another place. That is the essence of all these visibility studies and things like that. Some people don't, believe in it. And let me give a warning also, Harriet. One thing that I've found out among entrepreneurs in Nigeria is that they don't like to use consultants. People waste a lot of money, you understand, before they realize, after a very long time, that they need someone that is more skilled, that can help them.
We will come back and continue on that line, because you see, sometimes even the consultants really do not even understand what they're supposed to be consulting about, and probably give the wrong information and mislead the prospective client. But hold on to that thought, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation.
Thank you very much.
You're still watching Business Morning on Channels Television, and today on the program, our conversation is on managing risk in your business, especially for small and medium enterprises. And I've been talking to the Director General Association of Enterprise Risk Management Professionals, Olayinka Odutola. He's going to be here in the studio with me when we come back in just a moment.